I want to talk about something that didn't get enough heat because of all the velocity of the news this week, and that is Matt Taibbi and Michael Schellenberg went to Capitol Hill to talk about what they discovered in the Twitter files and talk about the government's involvement, talk about the FBI, talk about Homeland Security, talk about the White House and their involvement in suppressing the Hunter Biden scandal, and then when it came to the pandemic. Listen to Matt Taibbi and Michael Schellenberg talk about what they had. First off, before we do that, here's a little from the hearing. Watch.
The scope, power, and law-breaking of the censorship industrial complex are even worse than we had realized.
We found evidence of suppression of movements on both sides.
You have no idea. You know hard drives can be manipulated.
Are you suggesting the New York Post participated in a conspiracy to construct the contents of the Hunter Biden laptop?
No, sir. The problem is that hard drives can be manipulated by Rudy Giuliani or Russia.
I was astounded by that. I was astounded by this and the pushback from Debbie Wasserman Schultz and Dan Goldman.
Yeah, look, the biggest threat to democracy, in my opinion, in any of our lives, is the government deciding what we can and cannot say. And that's why I think this case, which is eventually going to reach the Supreme Court, Missouri versus Biden, has the potential to recalibrate. Can you expand on that? Yeah, it has the potential, this case, Missouri v. Biden, to determine once and for all what the government is able to do. Because the Biden administration argument is, oh, we're not censoring, we're just flagging information we don't like. And then it's getting taken down. Right. Most people would understand what China does isn't acceptable in the United States, but default, the Biden administration couldn't take it down themselves. But if they put political pressure on all these social media companies to take down information they don't like, and the companies do it because they're afraid of the power of the government, they're arguing that's legal. It shouldn't be. You can't do, the government can't, itself through a third party what it wasn't able to do itself.
Keep in mind, Trump was in the White House when all this stuff was being suppressed. So there was another force more powerful than 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, and they ended up in power during the pandemic. Your thoughts about the gravity of what they discovered?
Well, I'm grateful we still have actual journalists in this country who actually investigate and follow through.
Elon Musk gave him the green light to do that.
And that we have people like Elon Musk who allow actual free speech.
Amen.
I mean, imagine the Pulitzers that should be given out to journalists who are supposed to keep powerful people accountable. Instead, they take talking points from powerful people and regurgitate them, or in this case, suppress them. And we would never know if not for Elon Musk. If not for Elon Musk, we would have no idea.
I knew of Matt Taibbi, right for the Rolling Stone. I knew some of the stuff he did. I know he jumped off the Russia ruse quickly. I thought that was interesting. He has had a total metamorphosis. He can't believe what he's seeing from his party, that he grew up as a liberal. This is what he said to Laura this week.
I grew up a traditional kind of liberal. I donated to the ACLU my whole life, and I got most of my ideas about speech from Democrats. There is no element of that left in the Democratic Party. In fact, today was kind of an epiphany for me. I've kind of given up trying to convince people in this party to care about this issue. They just do not anymore.
And they knocked on his door. The IRS knocked on his door when he was giving the testimony a year ago.
It is a testament to how chilling this desire is. You mentioned the Pulitzers. They should go back and take away, if they had any honesty at all of the Russia collusion. And they should give them to the New York Post for their coverage of the Hunter Biden laptop, which was suppressed to such an extent. I think Miranda Devine, I think that entire crew, if there was truth, honesty, and decency in journalism, they would actually give all those awards back to the Post and take them away from
And I will give it to them because they took complicated situations. I understood it. Barry Weiss, Matt Taibbi, and Michael Schellenberger. The other big story from a conference this week came when Elon Musk came back from Israel and was invited to a conference that CNBC was holding, I believe sponsored by the New York Times too, obviously, as I see the backdrop. And he was asked about the massive boycott because he made a huge mistake and retweeted something that was anti-Semitic. And the major companies in this country walking away from X. Listen to what his message was.
There was advertisers leaving. We talked to Bob Iger today.
I hope they stop.
You hope?
Don't advertise.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f*** yourself.
But
go f*** yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is.
He went on to say, I love it. And he went on to say, listen, I made a mistake, my worst retweet ever, or whatever he calls it now. And I did something that is anti-Jewish, went over, I'm not anti-Semitic, went over to Israel. And now that everyone drops out right away. Pete, look a layer deep into this. What's going on?
The most difficult part about free speech is tolerating speech that you don't like and not attempting to suppress every aspect of what you don't like. So not everything that shows up on formerly Twitter, now X, is going to be something folks
People
would agree
occasionally
with or
say
like.
mean things about us that might stun
Every
people.
once in a while. But then there's rich guys, there's wealthy guys, and then
there's him.
There's go F yourself guys. And they're playing a game trying to blackmail the wealthiest man in the world who's simply saying, it's not about money for me. He wouldn't have bought it at the price he had if it was. This is about the principle of speech.
True. They're trying to cancel him. And Clay, this is the amazing thing. You're worried about anti-Semitism? Did you walk the streets in New York City? Did you see the swastikas in front of our building during the day? Did you see Columbia, University of Pennsylvania? How about boycotting them? Not only your donations, get Coke out of that building, get it out of their cafeteria, because now you can't be on Twitter.